These people were bitten by animals with rabies. In 2022, a fox snuck up on a woman in her front yard and attacked. She repeatedly kicked it, but the animal kept returning. It bit her legs and scratched her arms as she tried to break free.
The more I tried to get him to leave me alone, the more voraciously he came after me. He just wouldn't stop. And my fear was that he was going to trip me up and I would fall and he would attack my face. He latched into the fatty part of your hand right between your thumb and your forefinger with all of his might, and he held on, and I tried to rip him off. I tried to swing him off.
Her neighbors showed up with a stick and the fox finally retreated.
I will be grateful to him for the rest of my life, and I just thank God that he heard me.
The fox was later caught and tested positive for rabies. Sherry Russo was treated right away. Rabies is a viral disease that affects the central nervous system. It's often transmitted when an infected animal bites another animal or human. It must be treated with a vaccine and other medication.
Rabies is a viral disease that is almost always fatal if not treated immediately. If you get bitten or even scratched by a rabid animal, you need to go immediately to the doctor.
Good morning.
In 2021, a couple was attacked by a rabid bobcat right in their driveway. Christy Wade told Inside Edition.
Oh, that's the Bobcat!
It bit down on my left hand, and then within a few seconds it just crawled right up my back.
So her husband, Happy, jumped into action.
I just saw its head and its face its mouth was open and it was going at her neck. I was just able to shove my hand in there and it bit me on my arm.
My neighbor was attacked by a bobcat just now.
Yeah! I decided to sling it as far as I could.
He shot the bobcat in the shoulder. Happy and Christy were bitten several times by the rabid animal and were each given 30 rabies shots.
It's the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And if I had been by myself that morning, I don't know quite what shape I would be in. My husband here saved my life.
Oh my God.
In 2017, a man frantically tried flinging off a wild animal that had its jaws locked on its hand.
Fighting it with my bare hands probably wasn't the best decision at the time.
Steve Verschoor was on his way to buy a newspaper when he saw the bobcat attacking a pedestrian walking with his German Shepherd. He jumped out of his car and went over to help.
I had flip-flops on, so I couldn't kick the cat, so I just started punching it and punching it and punching it, trying to just disenlodge, not hurt the cat, but break up the fight. That's when I grabbed his paw, pulled him off the dog, and he swirled around, and that's when he latched onto me.
Oh my God.
After that, he scampered away, went in a storm drain, whining like,
Steve suffered a fractured thumb, deep cuts on his hand, and scratches on his arm. The bobcat was shot by a deputy sheriff, and an autopsy showed it had rabies.
The bad part is now is I have to do rabies treatment, and I have to go for shots every 4 days.
Oh my God.
I made sure I never let it go.
Dede Phillips was thankful to be alive after protecting her family by strangling a bobcat to death.
My first thought was not today. I wasn't dying today.
She told WGCO the animal left cuts and bruises all over her hands and arms.
The cat is right there.
Dede still went into fight mode.
I grabbed him by the shoulders and pushed him back away from me.
After the ordeal, she got several shots to keep her from contracting rabies. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.